Beyond the first date, building a connection. How do you know when you're on a first date? You may think the date went super well and you are super excited that, you met somebody really cool and somebody that you really, fit with. And then, boom, they're gone. How do you really know? And when do you really know? Well, it's kind of different for everybody in every situation, but I can't stress this enough. Do not overthink it. Some people have different, opinions or beliefs on how to handle, a follow-up date, or if they should mention a follow-up date on the first date. And I always say to stay out of deep water on the first date, and then even the second date too. But if you really feel a strong connection to somebody and they're really easy to talk to on the date, and you leave the date and you're like, oh, what if I don't get a second date? What if I don't get a second chance? And then you overthink things to death. Well, ask. I know that sounds really bold, and not everybody is equipped to do that, and I understand that. But there are subtle things during the day that you can pay attention to. I've listed them on this video. Small, subtle things that if you're paying attention to, you're going to pick up on. Don't always think that you're going to remember everything, and don't replay the date over in your head 1,000 times trying to find those little signs and clues that maybe. Don't do that to yourself. It's not worth it. If you are bold enough to ask before the date's over, hey, can I see you again? Or would you like to, get together and do this on such and such date? If you're not really equipped to do that, that's okay. You can also do it in a kind of a joking way. If, you're saying goodnight and, or goodbye, and if there's that feeling that you have that you definitely want to see the person again, let them know. You don't have to be that bold about it, but you can use like kind of a sarcastic way, kind of a joking way, and make sure you're ready to read their body language and their expression, because that will tell you a lot. The nonverbal cues are really important. You can say, like, if you spoke about going, a certain restaurant or a certain place, just in passing on the date, it was mentioned. You can say, like, hey, remember, don't go to such and such without me, and see kind of how they respond or how they react. That's a good way to kind of gauge. Or you can just straight up say, hey, I really would like to see you again. Let me know if you have some free time. That's bold. But you can do it in, not so bold ways. Like I just said, you can kind of make it like a joke. Or don't go to so-and-so without me. Something like that. And that's perfectly okay. It's whatever you're comfortable with, but go to where your comfort is and then take one step forward. That way you're stepping just outside your comfort zone, but you still feel kind of safe. And once you do that a few times, it becomes a lot easier. And don't be afraid if they say no. Because guess what? Then you're going to save yourself a lot of time and a lot of thinking time and beating yourself up and replaying if you already know the answer. Knowing the answer to me is always the most important thing. Even if it's an answer that you don't like, get the answer if you can, because then you're not going to waste time dwelling on it. Good luck.